Bladesmiths, this is the kill test.
The Vajramushti.
Originating in India, the Vajramushti is an edged knuckle duster. The unique design features sharpened blades on every side of the handle, making it a specialty weapon only wielded by well-trained Indian warriors. The sharp edges on all sides provided the user with a wide range of lethal attacks, from deadly stabs and slashes to devastating punches. A traditional Indian martial art where the weapon is tied to the fists of wrestlers has lineage dating back to the Middle Ages, and is still practiced today by professional wrestlers in India using non-lethal knuckle dusters.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the kill test. To find out what kind of lethal damage your weapon will do, I will take your weapon and deliver multiple lethal blows on this ballistics dummy. Kyle, you're up first. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. All right, Kyle, let's talk about your weapon here. I was worried about the finger welds that you had there, that they would be an issue, especially when I'm punching. No issues there. I like the fact that as it gets slippery, it gave me a very good grip. Overall, it is a beautiful piece, and your weapon will kill.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ben, your turn, sir. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this. All right, Ben, let's talk about your weapon here. The edges are very sharp, but there are some sharp edges that you have in here. Every movement started to give me a little bruise and cut off some skin right there. But in terms of what this weapon will do, it will kill.
Thanks, Doug.
My hand.
All right, Bladesmiths, welcome to the strength test. To test the strength and durability of your Vajramushtis, as well as their overall construction, I'll be stabbing and punching into this sheet metal and chain. Kyle, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yep.
All right, Kyle. In this strength test, your two long blades held up great. The center blade here took some chipping on that chain. I'm looking at the grain in there, and it's pretty big. I would have liked to have seen that refined. But in general, these two blades held up well. Nice job.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben.
All right, Ben, you're up. You ready for this?
Sure am.
All right, Ben. Well, the first thing I feel when I pick this weapon up is its sheer mass. I mean, it's a heavy, heavy weapon. That did you some justice in the strength test. The only thing I could see is a little bit of glinting on the lower blade, but the middle blade, it took a pretty major deflection right here. It kind of cracked one more little hit here, and that would just come off. The main thing working against you on this blade is the rough inner surface. I couldn't really find a real comfortable way of getting this finger out of harm's way. But after the strength test is all in one piece, nice job.
Thank you.
All right, Bladesmiths, we know your weapons can heal, and we know they are strong. Now it's time to find out just how sharp they are. To find out, we'll take your weapons and deliver some stabs and slices on these spice bags. Kyle, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yep.
Let's do this. All right, Kyle, let's talk about your weapon. It is comfortable. It's a good fit on my hand. It's got a pointy enough tip over there, but with that one piece where you're missing some edges, it was more of a jagged cut. When it came to stabbing and slashing on both weapons on each end, it'll cut. Good job.
Thank you, Doug.
Ben, your turn, sir. You ready?
Ready, let's go.
Let's do it. All right, Ben, let's talk about your weapon. The weight that you have here back up the cut because you have very sharp edges and the cuts are very deep. But my hand, when I'm making impact, still rubs on the inside of your handle. But other than that, sir, your beast, it will cut.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, guys, you guys both came through with unbelievable pieces of work. Unfortunately, we can only send one of you guys home with the title of Forge and Fire Champion and a check for $10,000. And our champion today is Kyle. Congratulations. Ben, unfortunately, you're not walking home the champion today. The time has come and I have to ask you to leave the forge floor.
All right. Thank you, guys. This was awesome, for sure.
Good job,
Kyle,
man.
amazing job. I busted my butt and honestly did the best that I could, so I don't have any regrets.
Well, Kyle, congratulations. You'll be leaving here with the title, Forge and Fire Champion, and a check for $10,000. Congratulations.
Thank you. My wife's gonna be super pumped when I tell her that I'm the next Forge and Fire champion.
What are you gonna do with that cash, man?
My wife and I are probably gonna use it for a down payment on a house.
That's absolutely
Nice,
fantastic.
nice.
Cool.
18 months ago, I would have never imagined being here today. Hell yeah, I'm Forge and Fire champion.
The Tabar Shishpar.
The Tabar Shishpar is an extremely rare weapon that was used by mounted warriors in India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan during the 16 and 1700s. The combination of two deadly weapons, the Tabar's axe was sharp and lethal, while the Shishpar's mace was just as dangerous, using blunt force to take down opponents. The mace could also contain up to 8 flanges that were able to penetrate shields and bash through armor, making this brutal weapon a force to be reckoned with.
Bladesmiths, the Tabar Shishpar is one weapon with multiple personalities. To see what kind of lethal damage your weapon will do, I will take your Tabar Shishpar and use both ends to deliver killing blows on this ballistics dummy. Mark, you're up first. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Let's see it.
Let's do this. Well, Mark, it is sharp. That chopped right into the chest cavity, breaking a bone. This axe dug in and gutted him. Your mace definitely will crush. You can see the breaking bones inside. Your weapon will kill.
Thank you.
Chris, you ready?
I am.
Let's do this. Oh my gosh. Into the lung, into the heart. Your mace definitely penetrated through the skull. Bones are broken. I don't think it's gonna end well. Your weapon is heavy, and I'm not a fan of heavy weapons, only because you have to carry it to battle. But overall, it will kill.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, this is the sharpness test. The Tabar only has one sharp area, which is the axe head. So I'll strike into this side of beef 6 times with each of your axes. Mark, you're up first. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your weapon's nice and light, for a weapon that looks as heavy as this is. You can see that this just went right through the ribs. This is definitely a cutter. Good job.
Thank you.
Chris, you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, right off, the weight difference, I mean, this thing hits like a ton. These hooks tear meat coming out the back way. Your edge, there's no damage that I can feel. It's heavy, but it does a hell of a lot of damage. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, this is the strength test. Now, to test the strength and durability of your Tabar Shishpars, I'll be using all parts of it to strike this suit of armor. Mark, you're up. You ready?
Yes, I am. Let's see it.
Edge is still perfect. No chips, no rolling. Well, the hammer gave that armor a nice dent, didn't take any damage. Mace is fine. The guy inside there was not happy. All right, Chris, you ready for this?
Don't hold back.
I'm not gonna. This is a heavy weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, I can control it, but I don't have any rebound. And you got just the smallest bit of edge deformation here. Other than that, mace is a devastator. You made a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
I hope the judges appreciate the devastation my weapon's capable of bringing. It's hard to say who's gonna win.
Bladesmiths, the judges' deliberation is complete, and there can only be one Forged in Fire champion, and that champion is Mark. Congratulations, you are the Forged in Fire champion.
Thank you. Good job, buddy. Thanks.
Chris, your blade did not make the cut. Please surrender your weapon.
Ah! Sorry. I just...
Mark, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion and will be receiving a check for $10,000. Good job. How do you feel right now?
I feel great. Chris, a hell of an opponent. I'm glad it went to the very end. I wanted to see a real competition.
Mark, please present your weapon to the judges and shake our hands.
I won. I am the champion. Whew. Unbelievable. I just won $10,000. My wife and I, we made a deal. She gets $9,000, and I get $1,000. So, congratulations, dear.
A Bhuj.
Named after the Indian city of Bhuj, this 18th century hybrid axe knife was often used by the armies and bodyguards of monarchs known as Raja. Featuring a broad single-edged blade mounted to a long haft, the lethal weapon could be wielded as a powerful two-handed battle axe, ideal for both hacking and slashing. Warriors could also impose stealthy and deadly attacks with the small stiletto dagger concealed within the haft and pommel. This brutal, yet highly ornate weapon was often inlaid with gold and silver and features an elephant's head, a sacred animal. Video game enthusiasts can virtually wield the Bhuj as a Rajput warrior in the game Deadliest Warrior.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the kill test. Your Bhujes look beautiful, but are they deadly? Well, to find it out, I will take your weapon and deliver killing blows on 2 pig carcasses. Joey, up first. Ready?
I'm ready.
First up, this blade is sharp. The point is easy enough to get into the carcass and slash on the way out. It's got a great feel to it. Nice stiletto. There's even a handle that you put on this so it gives a nice look to it. Overall, sir, this Bhuj will kill.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, Benton, are you ready to ham it up?
Ready to rock and roll.
Oh, man. Sorry, man.
It's a big piece of shrapnel.
Damn it. Well, Benton, one of the things I like about this, you put on the leather, it gave me a very nice area to hold on to, and it's void. I can tell where the edge is. But the obvious happened. It's a coarse-grained structure here.
I should have normalized that tang much better than I did. But when you're grinding away long days in the shop during this challenge and you're just focused on the finish line, it's easy to overlook some things, and obviously I did.
Well, Ben, any warrior knows that if you leave a piece of shrapnel that big in a target, it's deadly. However, a warrior also knows that his weapon needs to be strong, and your blade has suffered a catastrophic failure in our very first test. And therefore, you cannot move forward in this competition. Come on, brother. Did a great job, man.
I feel pretty bummed, but this challenge has been both very difficult and invigorating at the same time. I've made things that I've never made before, and I've overcome some challenges that I've never had to face before, so overall it was a great experience.
Joe, your blade is sharp, deadly, and strong, and you are the new Forged in Fire champion, and that's a title that comes with a check for $10,000. Good job. How you feel right now?
It's a little surreal. I'm a Forged in Fire champion. I won, but, you know, it would have been nice to win after the 3 tests. But this has been a totally unique opportunity. It's really a big affirmation of my abilities. Yeah, it's amazing.
The Khanda. Oh. The Khanda is a sword that gained popularity in medieval India during the Gupta period between 320 and 550 AD. The word Khanda is derived from the Sanskrit word khan, meaning to break, divide, cut, or destroy. Its wide, thick, straight blade was not only used for thrusting, but also as a hacking weapon. When a Rajput warrior was surrounded by the enemy, he would pull out the Khanda and fight to the end while swinging the blade with both hands, taking down as many enemies as he could in an honorable last stand.
Bladesmiths, this is a kill test. To test the lethality and function of your weapon, I will take your weapon and deliver 3 vertical chops and then a slice. Ben, you're up. You ready?
Guess so.
Well, Ben, the damage that your blade did cut about 6 inches deep into both shoulders and right through the spine. On the horizontal slice, it pretty much cut all the way through. It's got a good feel. This, sir, will kill.
Thank you.
Tom, it's your turn. You ready?
I'm ready.
Tom, you definitely cut in about 6 inches deep on the shoulders and about 8 inches into the spinal column. Cut halfway through into the carcass. Also feels good in balance with a downward vertical slice. There was a slight bend that's happening to your blade, but it will kill. Bladesmiths, this is the sharpness test. I will slash across these bungee cords. If your blade is sharp, it should cut all the way through. If not, it may just push it aside or bounce off. Ben, you're up. Are you ready?
Sure.
Well, Ben, your sword started to cut a little bit, but it did not cut through. It feels good on the slice. The handle is very comfortable in the hand. But once again, it didn't cut through. So it brings into question the sharpness. Tom, it's your turn. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Ooh.
Well, Tom, it did cut a little bit into the bungee cord. But then, as you can see, that transference of energy went all the way back to the blade. It wasn't sharp enough to cut through, and it bent your blade. Which brings into question the heat treatment you did on your blade.
Cut around corners now.
It will cut around corners this time, right? But in this particular case, it will not cut, sir.
Gentlemen, both of your weapons failed in the sharpness test. Historically in battle, blades bent. Tom, we'd like to give you the opportunity to straighten your blade so that you can continue with this fight. However, we will be taking that bend into consideration when it comes to final judging.
I understand. Should have left it thicker, but I'm not a quitter. I'm gonna fight to the end.
Okay, Tom, you've straightened your blade. We can continue with testing. Dave.
Gentlemen, this is the strength test. I'm gonna take 5 chops into these copper pipes and see how far through we can split. Ben, are you ready?
Not at all. Yes.
Well, Ben, it's still one piece, but barely. And the dimensions of your guard here on my hand are perfect. Your blade, it's held up beautifully. Nicely done.
Thank you.
So, Tom, your turn.
Okay.
All right. So, Tom, what happened is we lost a piece of the guard right there.
Yeah.
With the broken guard and the bend earlier, I feel it's unsafe to continue.
All right, thank you, Tom.
I'm disappointed. I know I could do better, but that's what happens when you don't use your time right.
Gentlemen, in just 5 days, you've both done an amazing amount of work on your Khandas. But in this arena, there can only be one Forged in Fire champion. Ben, you are the Forged in Fire champion. Tom, unfortunately, your weapon did not make the cut. Please surrender your weapon.
Well, I got to meet some real nice craftsmen, and I learned. Don't let your age slow you down. You don't know how long you got.
Ben, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion and will be receiving a check for $10,000. Good job.
Most people get guard sizes all wrong, and the Khanda has a deceptively small guard. You just hit it out of the park.
Thank you. It feels amazing to be the Forged in Fire champion. It's a wonderful validation of a long time of knife making, and I made new friends. I made 10 grand. I mean, what more could you ask for?
The Indian two-handed sword.
Emerging around the 17th century, this rare two-handed sword joined some of the most iconic bladed weapons produced in the Indian subcontinent. The long double-edged blade reached lengths of up to 5 feet and was so heavy, it required the wielder to use 2 hands for more accurate strikes. It also featured 3 brass globes positioned on the shaft that offered a more secure grip, as well as a counterbalance for the heavy blade. Despite its substantial size, the blade was designed to flex. By the mid-18th century, improved gunpowder technology spread throughout India, making the Indian two-handed sword obsolete.
Bladesmiths, this is the kill test. To see what kind of lethal damage your weapon will do, we'll take your sword and deliver killing blows on this boar carcass. Jonathan, you're up first. You ready?
Go for it.
All right, Jonathan, let's talk about your sword right here. First up, it's sharp. Definitely lacerated through easily. When wielding this weapon, there's a nice balance to it. Overall, your weapon, sir, will kill.
Thank you.
Ed, are you ready?
I am.
All right, Ed, let's talk about your weapon right here. First up, I like the leather wrapping that you did right here on the handle. It gives it a good grip. Your blade is a little bit on the heavier side, but upon the swing, it lacerates deeply into the carcass. It will kill.
Gentlemen, this is the dreaded bone chop. Remember, this test is all about what the bones do to your blades and not what your blades do to the bones. Ed, you're up first. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jonathan, it's a similar result. There is some edge chipping here as well. The handle being round on one of the hits did roll in my hand. Aside from edge chipping, held up very well. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, to test the sharpness of your blade, I'll be cutting through these pumpkins. We'll take a look at those cuts, see how clean they are. Jonathan, you're up. Are you ready?
Ready.
So, Jonathan, you can see your blade has such a flexibility to it that when it hit, the blade actually warped out, cut over and through. It's a heck of a cutter. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, Ed, you're up. Are you ready? All right, Ed, that's a good clean cut on that pumpkin. You kind of see what happened. I started compensating for the weight and pulled up and through. The weight factor in me using it is an issue, but definitely sharp, definitely a good cutter. Well done.
It's really hard to say one way or the other right now who could and couldn't win this thing.
Jonathan and Ed, the judges have finished their deliberation, and there can only be one Forged in Fire champion, and that champion is Jonathan. Congratulations, you are a new Forged in Fire champion. Ed, your sword didn't make the cut. Please surrender your blade.
I agree with the judge's decision. His blade was more usable. I made a good blade, he made a little bit better blade. No matter what, I'm still a happy cat.
Jonathan, good job. You are a new Forged in Fire champion, and that's a title that comes with a check for how much money?
$10,000.
$10,000, that's right.
Thank you.
Jonathan, please present your blade to the judges.
I won Forged in Fire. That's pretty awesome. It's not really sunk in yet that I won. I'd love to have one of those grinders, so I might buy some shop tools too. We'll see.
The Kora. The Kora sword originated in Nepal, where it was wielded for centuries by a legendary group of soldiers, the Gurkhas. The Gurkhas were known for their fearless military prowess and weapons-based martial arts, which included symbolic weaponry like the Kora sword. This fearsome sword features a long curved blade that flares outward at the tip, maximizing the force of each swing and making it an ideal weapon for both slashing and chopping. Also used in sacrifice, a skilled Kora wielder could reportedly cut a sheep in half with just one swing.
The Nepalese Kora was a blade that had a distinct inward curve and a spatulated flare at the tip, making it a weapon for slicing and chopping. Now we'll cut across these sandbags. Let's see how sharp your blades are. Josh, you're up first. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Josh, great balance. The blade really wants to chop and slice. The recovery on the blade makes it one that wants to continue for combat. One problem I have here is this handle. It tends to roll. But other than that, it will cut. Good job, sir.
Thank you.
Liam, you're up next. You ready?
Yeah.
When he said that this was heavy, you weren't kidding. This is a chopper. A little hard to control on the recoil, but not enough to where I can't wield it. This, sir, will cut.
Great.
Good job. Next up is a strength test. Dave?
Gentlemen, to test the strength of your Kora, I'm going to take one blow into these skulls. Josh, you're up. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, fantastic.
Nice.
Josh, went right into the skull. Swings easy, super lightweight. But like Doug said, the handle wants to roll in my hand. Nonetheless, nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's a beast. It feels really nice in the hand. You did a great job on this handle. Obviously, we pretty much took care of that skull. Now, this thing, once you get it started, it's gonna go.
Right.
My only worry is stopping it.
Yeah.
You don't always have to have a heavy blade to make a heavy blow. But it's a beautiful piece. It's a nice job.
Thank you.
Well done.
Liam, Josh, both of your weapons are spectacular. But in this competition, there can only be one champion. And that champion is... Liam, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion. Josh, unfortunately, your blade did not make the cut. Please surrender your weapon.
I came here to challenge myself, and I came here to hopefully represent bladesmithing well. And I think I did that.
Liam, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion and will be receiving a check for 10 grand. Good job.
You are our youngest champion so far. Congratulations. Great job.
Good job.
I just won Forged in Fire. Just wow. This is a big feat for me to accomplish against a master smith. I think that all the people that I went to high school with, they'll finally realize it's not just a hobby. It's something that I can really succeed at. I'm gonna use the $10,000 and just put it straight into a new shop. And these are like my only pair of jeans. So maybe I'll get another pair of jeans.
The Haladie.
Ooh. The Haladie was a fearsome double-bladed dagger created in ancient India. The two recurved blades would meet at a straight handle and could be used for slashing or stabbing. Some Haladies even featured a third blade running out of the handguard. Though the Haladie might seem like something out of a fantasy video game, it actually dates back to the mid-5th century and was wielded by the Rajput, a major Hindu clan known for their bravery and ferocity in battle.
Bladesmiths, the Haladie was a weapon used by the Rajput warriors. It was designed to have a blade on both sides of the handle, and they were known to be very sharp. To see how sharp your weapons are, I will take your blade and deliver multiple cuts and stabs to this canvas bag. Ray, you're up first. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this. Okay, Ray. I like the design of your blade. It feels good in the hand. You got that ovoid shape for the handle, and I like also how it flares over there so it stops for the thrust. I love your recurve and Damascus pattern that you have on both ends of your blade. It's very dramatic, and it looks good. The belly of your blade slashed nicely on the canvas, and it allowed for a good thrust. And this blade will cut. Good job.
Thank you.
Steven, you're up next. You ready?
Hell yeah.
Let's do this.
Going up against a master bladesmith with 30 years experience is definitely a little nerve-wracking for me, but I'm pretty sure I got everything executed perfectly on it.
Well, Steven, we have a big problem here.
What's the problem?
We specifically asked for a recurve on each blade. These blades are not recurved. They're simply curved. We put that specifically on our parameters so that both blades are equal and fair in all the tests that we do. Your blade does not have that S-shaped recurve that we're looking for. Because you don't have that S-shaped recurve that we needed for the parameters, we cannot move on to test your blade.
Well, Steven, the devil's in the details. The blade parameters were very specific. We asked for counter recurve blades on your Haladie. You didn't deliver that. And therefore, since your weapon cannot be tested fairly and evenly, I must ask you to please leave the forge.
I'm feeling a little bummed I put in all that hard work and I didn't even get to test it. I still feel really proud of my work. It's just I failed to see the one small detail, and that led me to losing. I learned I gotta follow the instructions a little better.
Ray, congratulations. You are the Forge and Fire champion and will be receiving a check for $10,000. Good job.
Thank you.
It's a good-looking weapon, sir.
Thank you.
I love your Damascus pattern. Really, really nice recurve with beautiful shape.
How do you feel right now?
Feeling really good. Being Forge and Fire champion, it's really nice, especially at my age. I felt a lot better about it if they could have did the cutting contest and everything with his blade also. But I just sold a knife for $10,000. That's the best part.